Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti. The last quality that we saw is those two together, 17, 18. Together we say it's easy. Vivikta Desha Sevitvam and Arathi Janasamsati. Resorting to solitary place and distaste for crowd of people. Distaste for the crowd of people means he is not having a social phobia. See, it's not that he doesn't like people around. See, he doesn't need them around. That's the meaning. Now, today we don't want human beings around us, but we want pets around us. Substitute. Those who cannot have, beings. Go for pets. If pets also problem, terrace garden. Right. On ground garden not possible anymore. So what to do now? Have terrace gardens. It's not that there is a craving for company, nor there is any phobia for company. Nor is it that he doesn't know how to relate. Many times we say, no, leave me alone. That's not the category, please. Arathi means he doesn't have that craving. He doesn't need them. That's the meaning. And Vivikta Desha is reference to the space wherever you are. Because if you anywhere you move, always there is a sense of discomfort. Wherever you go, you will never be as comfortable as your home. It's impossible. You may say, yeah, very nice. How was the trip? Very nice trip we had. Then why you came back? It's heaven. Bangalore Hella. What do you think? It's not escaping from a space. That familiarity. Any space where you live, you get familiarized to the place. Once you get familiar, you would not want to leave that. It's very simple. Solitary place means, is there any place where you are alone? Somebody will be there, no? Something will be there. If nothing is there, you will start developing something. Like you have seen this movie, Castaway. No beings around him, no animals also. The psychologist writes this one. When did he realize that he has gone mad? He's scared. He got scared. That's the time he realized what is the power of his mind. He was in the prison, Nazi camp. In the prison, solitary confinement. Over a period of time, he started developing a relationship with a lizard in his room, inside the prison cell. There's a lizard. And he started developing a relationship with the lizard. And he started talking to that lizard. Suddenly, one day, he got so scared. You know what? The lizard started replying. That's what he writes. The lizard started replying. Says, got really scared. That's the time he woke up. Says, what's going on? Franklin writes in his biography. Franklin is stuck there. And he is to be, says, I was horrified. Says, as long as I was talking to the lizard, I don't had a problem. When lizard started replying, who is replying now? Lizard talks to him. Lizard will not speak. But what will happen over a period of time? Your mind is the one who is creating that reply also. As though lizard is speaking. As though there is somebody else. See, any space you go, is there any place in the world where the world is not there? Okay, you can move from Bangalore to Delhi. Of course, Bangalore will not be there. From Delhi to New York, you can go. From New York, you say it's too much of noise and too much of what I'm going to do now. I'll go to Uttarakashi. I'll go. There also crowd. Now what you will do? Wherever you go, world is there, no? And what is the Vivikta Desha? Resorting to solitary place. Vivikta Desha is not only physically extricating from the place, remember, it is engaging yourself with the self. Because the self is the only place where you are alone. Because there is no two, there's only one. Brahman is only one. So, resorting to solitary place. One is physically moving away, which is also correct. Go alone. And a general distaste. They prefer that. Not that they don't know how to relate. Not that he has a hatred to people. It's neither hatred. So much of love is there, but still he is not mingling with people. He doesn't express his love, but he is there. Vivikta Desha Sevit. Now, distaste for Jana Samsiddhi means crowd of people. Initially, what type of people you have to avoid, you should know. See, if a businessman keeps a close association with the sannyasi, thick friends, what will happen? Either businessman will become a sannyasi or a sannyasi will become a businessman. Correct? He will leave his Swadharma, that fellow also will leave his Swadharma. That is what he is saying. A distaste for a crowd of people. Why the distaste is in alignment with your nature, you should have people. That sort of a people you should go and be. You see, whereas when you have to see here, he has a distaste towards who? Not towards a fellow being. If you cannot have identification with a fellow being, you are not spiritual. One of the qualities of Bhakta we saw, Maitra, friendly, friendliness. He is so friendly. Not only he is only friendly, he is compassionate. Karuna is also there. Maitra Karuna Evachi. He has only friendliness and compassion. That's what he is. We saw that. So he's not saying don't have association with people. Have, but your contact should not be with people who come and disturb your pursuit. If anything comes and disturbs your pursuit, you should have a distaste for that. You should not be relishing it. Aratihi means you should not be enjoying that company. Don't enjoy such company. By circumstantial forces, you have to associate with them, you associate with them. But you do not have any mental value for them. There is common fight, between the youngsters and parents. Parents are always worried about what relatives will say. Youngsters will always say what? Who cares? Correct. But he is always worried about his friend's opinion. He has a friend circle, no. Can he take the same stand with reference to his friend circle? He will sit and give advice to his father and mother. Why are you worried about what they think? We are not living for them. We have to live our own. All lecture he will give. Hmm? Oh, what one fellow called me and said, had some problems, sir. My teenage son, gave a profound advice. First time I heard. I have a very short fuse. Second time he said, "Eh, that doesn't show how great your son is. That shows how low you are. And you are proud about it. Hmm? Imagine from roadside, what 15-year-old boy comes and gives an advice to you on life. Will you listen and say, wow, what a great wisdom? First reaction of yours will be what? Shut up. Why is listening here? Same fellow will come next day crying. He had a fight with his friend. But to you, they'll give what an advice. Illa Arjuna category. The problem is for Uddhava, this Uttarakumara, not Uddhava, Uttarakumara. What a lecture he gave. Same battlefield only. Virat Parva, that time. Yeah. This Kauravas came, attacked. Arjuna was there. And this fellow Uttarakumara said, I'll handle them. Come, let's go. Arjuna came as a charioteer for him. The moment that guy saw the army, he said, you don't. Like, who is that? Dilip Doshi, yeah? Doshi. When Malcolm Marshall took a stride to deliver, he dropped the bat and moved. Say, who's that batsman? Chandrasekhar. Not Doshi. Chandrasekhar. Ah. Bill Chandrasekhar. See, is it? Playmates, huh? National. Very fun. Obviously. See, Michael Holding also will have the same speed as this guy, Marshall. But you will never know. But the way Malcolm Marshall, the run he takes, very weird way he'll run. The J. First 4 steps, will look like he's running towards the screen. Hey, I'm standing here. Why are you running there? You go like this and come. Amazing fellow. Ooh, scary. Huh? Oh, deadly fellows. Somehow you manage that over. Next over, this fellow will come. Michael Holding. That's right. Wow, you say. Change over. Joel Garner will come. Yamaha, you turn this side. Andy Roberts. You will never know what that guy is going to do. From where he is going to, deliver the ball. Oh my God. That deadly. I have never seen, that 40 overs gone. If you survive, you're lucky. Oh. And in between, 2 fellows will come, some scoreman, because batsmen are there for them. Why they did not bring 2 more fellows? They would have brought 2 more guys. Why they bring is otherwise, Greenwich, Haynes, Richards, Lloyd, what they will do? They will not be in the team. Dujan will finish the match. Wicketkeeper is enough. So they had another 2 fellows. Larry Gomes will come, he'll bowl 2 overs, score something. So that otherwise, possible. Similarly, this fellow saw the army, said, you turn. What a profound wisdom of Arjuna. Unfortunately, those days, these recordings were not there. Otherwise, Krishna would have recorded that and played that same lecture. Similar Arjuna, there was a case. Happened, same thing. Same army was there. There is a fellow who came into the battlefield saying that I'm going to fight them. After coming, the fellow says, I'm going to leave. Same thing, Arjuna, few months back. Of course, not few months, it is actually about 3 years. The war preparation took about that much time, they say. But amazing. If the problem is somebody else's, we are so eloquent. Marriage counselor says, finish the meeting quickly. Why? I have to go to the court. For what? Divorce. I've applied for divorce. My case is coming. Actually, it happened in Bombay. One lady called Swamiji, said, I want some advice. My husband, I have a problem. Swamiji said, I don't do counseling and all that. I teach. I'm not into this, marriage counseling. I don't do. But I know one fellow in Bombay. You can contact that guy. I'll refer you a case. This lady said, no, I can't go to him. He thought maybe she had tried already. I said, why? No, he's a very good guy. I know he's a very good guy, but I can't go to him. He said, why? What is the problem? Price and all, don't worry. I'll tell him, costing and all, I'll tell him, don't worry. He said, no, I can't go to him. Why? He's my husband. The husband. He said, what to do now? That's why I come to you. What is the problem? If it is someone else's problem, we are so nice. Same way, these teenagers give advice. Don't worry about the relatives. Tell them, don't worry about the friends and see what happens. They'll pounce on you. Each one of us have a set of company, which that relationship, which we would not want to leave. The question is, what sort of a company that you feel that I don't want to leave? That defines whole thing here. A distaste for crowd. It doesn't mean I don't go to this, Sabarimala, I go when nobody is there. When this Makar Jyoti time I go, no, too much of crowd. I don't like. Why? Krishna says in the Gita, a distaste for crowd. I don't go to all this, Tirupati and all, I don't go. I go to a quiet temple where nobody goes. God also not there. You know, and the fellow never looked at it because the idol is gone. It will be somewhere in Paris or Egypt or somewhere it will be. The idol is gone completely. And he thinks he's practicing arati. No. You do not. You consciously avoid people who disturb your pursuit, for which you should have a pursuit. You see, if you have a pursuit, then you can practice. When you are not having anything to pursue, then anything which is entertaining is a good company. That's why class also has to be entertaining. If class is not entertaining, what you will do? Leave the class. Even today, education also we want entertaining. You have to teach things with a lot of entertainment. If there is no entertainment, education has no value. Now, how would you teach integral calculus, integration, differentiation with entertainment? Algebra I'm going to teach with entertainment. How can you teach algebra with entertainment? So the lecture has to be, captivating the audience. How can you captivate? If you are interested, algebra is captivating. Otherwise, You come to kindergarten, no way you can teach anything without entertainment. Anything you have to introduce to a child, it has to be with entertainment. To a PhD student, you cannot have entertainment. You see the scale. Lower grades, more of entertainment, less of this. Higher you go, higher you go, higher you go, there's no entertainment. Entertainment drops slowly. You have to drop it. Only then you can go for the higher. Those who are unwilling to drop it cannot. So there is a difference. Same way, the crowd who should not disturb your pursuit, you should have a pursuit first. Right? What it is. Then we also have to understand what it is not. What it is not, sir? I am not going there because of the fear of people, the fear of company, which is what we call as social phobia. There are people who have that fear, of people around. That's the case. Or I don't like hatred. Either there is fear or there is hatred or indifference. I don't care. It's not, no, I don't care also. It is not callousness. It's not indifference. It's not carelessness also. Then what is it? There is nothing compelling for him to socialize with people. There's no compulsion for socialization. That's the meaning. Distaste for crowd of people means there is nothing forcing him. When will you go for the company? Only when you want something from them. When you don't want anything from them, why will you go? So he doesn't want anything from the world. He has nothing to gain from the world. Or whatever the world is giving, he has already understood. What is wrong there? See? Therefore, he doesn't have any great fascination for things. Therefore, there is nothing forcing him to seek the company. That's the meaning of distaste for crowd of people. Well,
अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वं तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम्
एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यततोऽन्यथा अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वं तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम्
अज्ञानं यदतोऽन्यथा.
Constancy in self-knowledge, perception of end of true knowledge. This is declared to be knowledge. What is opposed to this is ignorance. Just concluding the topic, idea. We started explaining what is jnanam. So there he started describing qualities. various qualities he started describing. And now in this verse 12, he is giving two more, right? 1920. That the 20 qualities he gives, after giving out those 20 qualities, he concludes beautifully. This is declared, proktam. Declared by whom? Not by him. I am not saying it. This is what has been declared. Declared by who? Declared in the Shastras. Declared by those great masters. The Upanishadic masters have declared it. They have said. What? They say, this is knowledge. What? The 20 qualities. These 20 qualities as knowledge. Not only this 20 qualities as knowledge, they say positively, also he confirms that by saying what is opposite to these 20 qualities is ignorance. Amanitvam is knowledge. That means manitvam is ignorance. Ahimsa is knowledge. That means himsa, ignorance. So the one who is causing himsa has to be treated as ignorant person. I'm not saying go to pardon them, please. That's not what I'm saying. Understand the root cause. What is there is ignorance. He can have double PhD also, but still we say what? Right? Manitvam. Fellow has that manitvam, this pride. You can have anything, and you feel pride. You will be considered as ignorant. Don't expect these masters. That's why they say the whole world is steeped in ignorance. And people who hear that statement will think what? Oh, only you have knowledge. Yeah? All of us are ignorant. Is it? What do you think? Structural engineer. Do you know anything about that? Do you know anything about politics? Do you know anything about economics? What do you know about science? Forget about all that. If I give a blood sample, will you be able to understand what is there? I show an X-ray. Do you understand what is that? So interesting. All these people see as though it's a photograph. The moment this X-ray fellow brings and gives them, here is the X-ray. Immediately they'll take and see. Enna paakra? What do you understand in that? And invariably they are seeing a ulta. You don't even know how to hold it. Right? But then you may be an expert in medicine. Still, if you have the pride, what are you? Ignorant. Anyone who is not possessing these 20 qualities is equal to ignorant. We don't care who you are, what you are, where you are from, which era you belong to. Caveman were this. We are nothing doing. Caveman is also ignorant, you are also ignorant. No difference. They don't shave. Whether it's shaven or not shaven, you are ignorant. Why? Do you have these 20 qualities in you? This beautifully he structures. He gives those 20 items and finally he says, the last two is amazing qualities. Of course, you'll be saying every quality you say that. Beautiful one. Adhyatma Jnana Ityato. Adhyatma Jnana. Consistent pursuit of Adhyatma Jnana. The Adhyatma Jnana means Vedanta. Adhyatma Jnana is self-knowledge. Self-knowledge you will never get. This is a big misunderstanding we have today. I do not require the scriptures to know myself. I can look within myself and I can understand myself. No chance. You will not be able to get it. That's the rule. Remember, for every rule, there will be an exception. And don't make a rule out of exceptions. But Ramana didn't study anything, no? How do you know? How do you know? He did not study anything. How do you know that? So therefore, today this has become a trend now. I have not studied anything. Then shut up. Shut your mouth. I have not studied, Bhagavad Gita. But then he will comment on Bhagavad Gita. I said, shut up. If you have not, it's like, I have not studied mathematics, but I will comment on Pythagoras theorem. Either he is lying or he is blabbering. What would be your authority? Will you go and listen to someone who says, I have not studied law, but I will file your case, I will appear for you in the case. Will you? Huh? Sir, I have never studied, mechanical engineering, but I will take care of your car. You don't worry. I will set it. Will you give? Car which is few lakhs. That's all it is. You will not hand it over to that fellow. I am not a chartered accountant, sir, but I will file your returns. Don't worry. Will you give? Amongst the chartered accountants, you ask, who is a good chartered accountant? Like, every chartered accountant is not good, no? That's why you go and select a lawyer. I want a good lawyer. Why? But when it comes to the scriptures, the trend is what today? I have not studied. Therefore, you also don't study. Why? Problem is what? If you study and come, I'll be in trouble. Yeah? So how can I convince you? Something. Either he is lying, he has studied, but he doesn't want to acknowledge. Give the credit. You read something and you don't give credit to that. Or he is not qualified, but he is talking. Now, both are wrong. Now, you see, this is my interpretation on the Gita. What I am saying, Adhyatma Jnana means this. That you can challenge. You are interpreting, no. Give your reasoning for your interpretation. You can have your reasoning for your interpretation. But then, that knowledge came from where? I did self-analysis. You don't even know what is yourself. What analysis you will do? You don't even know how many parts are there in the car. Will you go on repairing the car? Huh? You don't even know what. If you open the bonnet and see, if I ask you, what is this, what is this, what is this, what is answer you will give? If you have very basic education, you may not be a mechanic, but you can know certain things there, isn't it? Open the bonnet. Anyone who has, up to, 10th standard, 12th standard student who has studied up to that, call him and ask him, what is this? He will say 2, 3 things in that. Isn't it? He can identify the battery cell. What is this? He will say this is engine. Anything else? What else you think he can? Have you ever tried like that? You have not tried. I did that in their village. Went to their village, there's no parking lot. Road la you have to park. And suddenly, one car came to the village in front of their house. Oh my God! Everybody in the street got so excited. They came, and I said, "I'm going to wash the car." Drama only. So from that, from the tank there, I was carrying water, bringing there, opening. And so I'm checking all this. I opened it, I stepped there and started looking at, as though there's some problem. I don't know what to do. One lady, in front of her house, their house, the lady is there, very sweet lady. She came. Thambi, ennache? Usually nobody opens a bonnet. No? They have seen in the movies. The moment a person opens a bonnet, what is the meaning? Heroine car is in trouble. So hero has to come. Now she is ulta. Now hero's car is in trouble. Now heroine is coming. Hero or Arakadam. Heroine is Murukadam. It must be around 85, that lady. In the watch, he is coming. He came. Very interesting. Very party is, I think there's some issue. I don't know. I'm feeling something wrong. He comes and says, the engine le da tappu paru. She is pointing to the engine. And she's pointing correctly. Very interesting. I don't know from where she got that. I was really stunned. Buddy, you know all these things, huh? She says, yeah, I know. Like that, about a human being, anyone can say few things. You see that? Open a car, there are 395 parts there in the car. I thought the tire is flat. The fellow said, in the nose, where you fill the tire, the nose, inside there is a tube, a small valve like. Some name he told me. That is gone, I'll change that. I said, no, there's a flat. Tire is flat. Can't you see? So the air is going out through this. And he just brought one, just placed, and it's the job done. That's it. That's also part of the car. You see, forget about designing a car. It's a totally different domain. Adhyatma Jnana doesn't mean the knowledge that you gain about yourself by observing yourself. Nobody till date has gained like that. When I say that, literally you have to take it. No one is possible. Anyone who claims he has gained knowledge about the equipments, he is faking. By observing, you will never gain. Any education is possible only through a systematic course. In that course, there are very many stages of learning. So many things you learn, like Vivekananda gives a beautiful definition for knowledge and ignorance. He says, what is knowledge and what is ignorance? The higher rung of a ladder is called knowledge. Lower rung of the ladder is called ignorance. Beautiful explanation. Same ladder. You go step up, lower becomes what? Ignorance. Wrong, isn't it? Molecule is the smallest. Next step, what happened? No. Atoms is the smallest ones. If atoms is the smallest but cannot be broken, again what? Now they are splitting that into 36 parts. 36 parts they are splitting atom. They call it quants. What is it called? Science teacher. No? Subatomic. அது எனக்கே தெரியும். What is the name of that? They have a name for that. Quantas. Quantas or something. Quarks. This is science. Chemistry, no? Chemistry. You're a chemistry. Huh? Physics. Ayyo. Subatomic particles. பேர் என்னமான physics teacher. Tragedy. I don't know what happens to your students. Now they are saying that can be broken. That's where that that strings. Further you go, it goes into the strings aspects. What is molecule now? Imagine what is smallest. If a fellow were to write molecules, you will give marks now. That means what? Wrong answer. That means what? Ignorance. So he says, higher rung is called knowledge, lower rung is called ignorance. So Adhyatma Jnana means the Shastras, the study of the Shastras. Knowledge that you gain from the Shastras is called Adhyatma Jnana. Here, the Adhyatma Jnana should not be taken as self-realization. Knowledge that you gain from after self-realization. See, not that. He is talking about the knowledge that you gain from the study of the Shastras. Through that study of the Shastra, you gain the knowledge. Now, what is the way to go about the study of the Shastras? The basic principle. There are 3 steps you have to go through. Shravanam, Manana, Nididhyasana. This is the process for which you have to do Shravanam, then you have to do Manana, then you have to do Nididhyasana. This process you go through constantly. The consistency with which you pursue the process of studying the Shastras, which is the Shravanam of the Shastra, Mananam on the teachings of the Shastra, and Nididhyasana on whatever you understand from the Shastra. After your Mananam, whatever conclusions you have arrived at, whatever understanding you gain, whatever is shown in the Shastras, you do the Nididhyasanam. That is called Adhyatma Jnanam. In that Adhyatma Jnanam, how consistent are you? Is there a consistency in that? Or start, stop, start, stop? Many times that happens. You start, stop it. You start something, stop it. You start something, stop it. You never pursue that for a period of time. For a period of time, you have to pursue. That is called Nityatvam, the constancy. So when you pursue this Shastras, when you pursue the Shastras means when you put an effort to understand the knowledge embedded in the Shastras, what will happen? Tattva Jnana will get. Tattva Jnanartha Darshana. That's the next quality. This Tattva Jnana means the essence. Tattva Jnana. The essence in that knowledge. Which knowledge? Adhyatma knowledge. Great. Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam. Darshanam, perception. Artha Darshanam means the end of the conclusion or the result, the final position, finality of something. Of what? Of Tattva Jnana. So, Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam, when you do, Tattva Jnana comes. That Tattva Jnana leads to what? You are constantly aware of. See the sequence? Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam and Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam. He says this is what he means. Which means there's a sequence he is giving here. Like the Shastric knowledge provides you or establishes you in these 20 qualities. You get established in these higher values. And with the establishment of your personality on these higher values, you gain a maturity. That maturity leads you, he says. That maturity fructifies the Adhyatma Jnana that you have gained. So, steps are there, almost. What does it say? First step, step 1, Adhyatma Jnana. What is it? Shastras give you knowledge. That knowledge, when you gain, the value systems in you get matured, refined. Right now, the value systems are there, but they are not fine-tuned or refined, not matured, not consolidated, not solidified. It's so fluid. That's why, you can easily be toppled. One or two challenges here and there is enough for you to buckle with your own values. A little strain here, a little strain there, little price you pay, little price you pay there. You lose the whole thing. You say, no, no, no. Why that is the case, sir? Because of lack of this values. That is what is Tattva Jnana you get. When you gain that maturity with these qualities that he has propounded, when you gain, what happens, sir? You get your values subtilized or crystallized. The value crystallization happens. When this values gets crystallized, the agenda of gaining Adhyatma Jnana fructifies. So what do we understand? Two things are very interesting here. One, Adhyatma Jnana needed, which means the study of the Shastras needed. Along with the study of the Shastras, crystallization of the values also should be there. Not just a lukewarm values piece. That's why, fortunately, got the word. Crystallization. Values should be crystallized. Otherwise, it's so fluid. It has to solidify in you. When this values, when this qualities gets crystallized in you, there is a maturity in you. Yes. You become a mature personality, a grown personality. Such a grown personality will be able to see the realization. There, that Adhyatma Jnana's real agenda, real purpose, which is realization, fructifies. Therefore, he says, this is Jnanam. Even though the 20 qualities is not directly called as Jnanam. Because Jnanam, he has already defined. What is Jnanam? Kshetra Kshetrajnayor Jnanam. He has already stated that. Understanding what is Kshetra and what is Kshetrajna is called Jnanam. But then, for that understanding to dawn, fructify in you, you have heard this. You have heard Kshetra is this, Kshetrajna is this, and understanding Kshetra is different, Kshetrajna is different is called Jnanam. Now, if I ask you a question, if I send a questionnaire to you, you will give an answer. Provided if you have a good memory. That doesn't mean you have that knowledge, no? That doesn't make you a jnani. That makes you a good student. That's about it. You'll get 2 marks for that. But that doesn't make you a jnani. Then what makes a person a jnani? That has to fructify in you, that has to grow in you, that has to happen. For this knowledge to bring about that realization. What you have heard, what you have read, to bring about that realization, these 20 qualities is needed. The 20 qualities have a direct effect on the way you are going to understand Kshetra and Kshetrajna. You see that? So, knowledge is the foundation. That Kshetra and Kshetrajna part of knowledge how do you understand it? Do you understand Kshetra is different, Kshetrajna is different? I am not the Kshetra, I am the Kshetrajna. If you are the Kshetrajna, then look at all that you are doing, all that you are feeling, all that you are thinking, all that you have a value towards. Whatever you believe, that is right, that's important. There is a disparity. Will the Kshetrajna do all these things? Will Kshetrajna feel like this? It's not. So there is a difference. No? But the problem is what? The problem is that Kshetrajna part of knowledge is so dry. You don't get inspired. There's nothing juicy about the knowledge of Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Because you don't get fired. How much you were fired when you heard about ahimsa, shaucham. But when you heard Kshetra, Kshetrajna, what happened? Oh, oh, I'm not Kshetra, but Kshetrajna. Is it? Am I that pure, unconditioned consciousness? Yes. But yeah. Yes. Okay. We'll meet next week. Correct? That's called dry. It will never have an impact. What should be having an impact in you is the Kshetra, Kshetrajna. Not Shaucham, not, Vivikta Desha Sevitva. Wow, solitary place. Great. What is actual knowledge is Kshetra, Kshetrajna. He has defined it already clearly. That is not, that is appearing to us so flat, so dry, so boring. Okay. But this is so interesting. Why the dryness is there? Because the 20 qualities in you are not there. In the presence of that qualities, you will not get inspired by the qualities. You will get inspired by Kshetra Kshetrajna. Clear that? You see that? That's what he says. Tattva Jnanartha Darshana. Tattva Jnana Darshana means this. So right now, what is supposed to be inspiring is the knowledge. What is knowledge? What is Kshetra? What is Kshetrajna is knowledge. That is not inspiring. Whereas Amanitvam, Adambitvam, all that is so interesting and inspiring. Why? It's so dry, which is full of juice. The essence is, that's the juice of the whole thing. The essence of you is that. The juice is that. But you are not able to see the juice part of it, you are seeing the dry. And taking the dry to be the juicy one to be the dry one. Why all the confusion, sir? All this confusion is because of the qualities not being present in you. In the presence of the qualities, what will happen? This Adhyatma Jnana, which is Kshetra Kshetrajna Jnana, will become so inspiring, not the qualities. The qualities will not be. That does mean, correct, sir. I'm not getting inspired by both. You see, at least earlier, interested in the qualities. Now that is also gone. No. The 20 qualities you pursue. See, the knowledge by nature not easy to be inspired. Why? Because knowledge is the foundation. Since knowledge stands as the foundation, it is invisible, isn't it? The root of a tree is invisible. You can't see it. The foundation of a building, the Burj Khalifa, they take some 100 dirhams or something you pay, they take you to the entire things. Even there, they don't take you to the foundation, which is interesting. Hey, going up there, you can see from outside, no? What they should do is, what you cannot see. And when you go to Burj Khalifa, you are not seeing the building. You are seeing what? You are seeing Dubai. Sir, I have come to see the Burj Khalifa. I'll take you up. This I can see from outside. I want to show what is inside. Inside, from where you should start. If you ask them, they will say, we have given a beautiful, PowerPoint presentation is there. What? All the pictures that they have taken when the work was going on. I don't know if it is there or not. I've not seen, but should be there, I'm assuming. If not, it's a good idea. Have, how they started, what it was, how deep they went, what they did there, this, that. Foundation you will never be able to see. That's called a foundation. Building only you can see. Building is visible, foundation is invisible. Don't worry, he's going to take it up in the 15th chapter. We'll deal that details there. Fascinating analysis. Ashwatam, tree, visualization. Oh, I had a great temptation for, we are making the logo for the institute. I wanted to use that. Ashwatha tree will talk. A lot of, the speaking tree you have, no? Times of India, they have, right, that logo that has a tree. A lot of people have used it, but I don't know. I have not seen anyone using, ulta. That's life, he says. Ulta. Roots up, branches below. Impossible. The fact that Adhyatma Jnana stands as the foundation, it is invisible, crude, not as structured, as beautiful as the tree, the building, polished. You will have Italian marbles for the floor in the building. Foundation? Huh? Useless. Marble potter, you put a foundation. No, they use all what? Stones. All the stones they put chakri. Done. But invisible. That is the thing that is holding the whole thing. And without this understanding of these qualities, if you were to practice things without this knowledge, when you practice, without that Adhyatma Jnana, if you go back to the beginning point of Amanitvam, Madambitvam, I'm going to practice, what will happen, sir? All those practices will become mechanical. All your efforts will become so mechanical. All those emotions, if you entertain, I'm going to become friendly. That friendliness that you are attempting to gain, all that will happen is it will turn into attachment. Now you cannot say that I'm going to practice, sir, this in Kali Yuga Bhakti, sir. Therefore what? Adveshta Sarva Bhutana. This is what Krishna says. I'm going to love all beings. Without Adhyatma Jnana, if you enter into Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam, it will become Dvesha to Sarva Bhutanam, Adveshta to Sambhutanam. That's all. Love someone, hate everyone else. Attachment. It will finally land you where? Without this knowledge, if you do any actions, it will become mechanical. Without this, if you entertain any emotion, it will become attachment. You become fanatic. Dangerous. But can you do away with action? Can you live without emotions? Impossible. Till death you will be acting. Nahi kaschik kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krita. So you cannot be without action even for a split second. I stated that already. So you can't be without action. You have to act. Now, as long as you are living in this world, you will have emotions. Now, how can you act and not turn those actions mechanical? How can you entertain emotions and not turn that into attachment? Adhyatma jnana vidyate. Now, all your actions have turned mechanical, all your emotions are attachment. Why? Go backwards. Lack of this adhyatma jnana nityatvam. So, if the knowledge is not going to be guiding, directing your actions and emotions, your actions will turn mechanical, your emotions turns attachment. Now go backwards. So, what is the Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam? Pursuing those qualities without Adhyatma Jnanam will lead to all these things. Therefore, what I'm going to do? I'm going to gain that knowledge, Adhyatma Jnanam. What is Adhyatma Jnanam? Kshetra Kshetra Jnayo Jnanam. It's called Adhyatma Jnanam, the Shastra. General, you can take it as, general. Particular, we'll say is what? Vedanta. Don't come here and say, I am studying Sankhya. Sankhya will not accept. No. Only Vedanta. That Vedanta also what? Only that. But I am studying, others, Veda, Veda. Only. Wrong. Everybody is wrong. Only I am correct. Why? I don't have manitva. I am practicing a manitva. Ketal. Be careful. So he says this 20 qualities, beautiful ones. What is this appearance is not the reality. It appears, but that's not real. Amazing, no? Impossible for you to conceive. No way you can conceive. You know, like waves. Well, you have seen waves, no? Beach. Waves don't move. You know that? Physics. Waves are not moving. Physics teacher, no? Correct, ah? Appa. Now she'll say, even if I'm saying something wrong, I'll say, yeah, yeah, correct, sir. Whatever you say, correct. Why take chances? Unbelievable, huh? I tell you. Unbelievable. I, it's the first time I doesn't move. I left the school because my school was, cross the road, that's a beach. Lunch period, I left the school and went to the beach. And the school sent a fellow to search for me. And they searched and they found me. One, fisherman caught me there. He said, what are you doing here? I was sitting there. He thought, I'm trying to jump in and all that. I was not jumping in on all those things, but I just sat there because the physics teacher, he says, "Nana, moving, not moving, goes up and down, no movement. It doesn't happen." And then, he explained and all that. I didn't understand because I switched off. I said, logic, who needs? Then, unbelievable. Even now, you go and sit there, you see the wave coming, isn't it? It's coming. It's not moving. Sir, movement happens. This appearance is not the reality. What you see a movement where there is no movement. This is called Adhyatmanya. It's not I am Brahman, I am Atman, I am infinite. Those things are all just, mind assertions. Mental, they keep on repeating, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. What are you? That I don't know, but I am Brahman. I am God, I am God, I am God. Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. The fellow sits and keeps chanting. They don't follow Rishikesh. I thought, why he's crying like that? Is anyone passed away? Then the fellow next to me, hey, he's practicing yoga. என்ன யோகா தெரியல எனக்கு. I thought, no, he was going. I thought, you know, olden days, the villages, when someone dies, they cry like that. They cry. This fellow was doing like that. So I thought, என்ன ஆச்சு அவருக்கு? And we went close by to hear what he's saying something. What is he saying now? He's saying, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. Then I called that fellow. I said, Aham Brahmasmi is a declaration. Abhyasa Vakya is different. Are you doing Abhyasa or this one? Abhyasa. Abhyasa Vakya is I am Atma Brahma. And the rhythm la varadu. You see that? You don't get it in the rhythm, I am Atma Brahma, how would you do? You can't do that. Therefore, what? That's all it is. But the scripture doesn't say that. That is to be told by the person who's realized already. The Siddha makes the statement, not the Sadhaka. You see, Shastra says one, Guru says one, Sadhak says one, Siddha says one. Shastra gives Prajnanam Brahma. Guru takes from the Shastra and gives an Upadesha to the student, Tattvamasi. Having taken the Upadesha from the Guru, the sadhak sits and does Abhyasa. That is, I am Atma Brahma. Through that Abhyasa, the sadhak becomes, the Sishya becomes a Siddha, realist. He says, Aham Brahmasmi. No sequence. I said, where are you? He looked at me like, unfortunately, at that day I was not in this dress. I was in a track pad t-shirt, jogging shoe, this guy looked at me up and down. And he moved away. And it's so funny to see from a distance. Ham Brahmasmi, Ham Brahma, Ham Brahmasmi. Adhyatma Jnana means investigations into the teachings of the Shastras. So gain the knowledge of the Shastras, process it properly, then these qualities will get crystallized in you. With that crystallization of these qualities, that knowledge that you have gained fructifies, produces the result. Without this, that knowledge that you are gaining will not produce any result. That's why you can go on studying. Sir, nothing is happening. I've tried attending your class also. Still nothing happens. I say anything you can do, nothing will happen. Why? Adhyatma Jnana, along with this qualities, alone produces the result. That ability to see the whole thing is called Tattva Jnana Artha Darshana. Okay? See you next class. Yes. Ah.